Hiya Tom, well done the session. Really good to see the progression now you're making in your swing and also your setup. As we worked last week on in terms of your posture. If we look at the right hand one here now, creeping back into a little bit of your old style, but certainly on this left hand side here now, we can see a much better angle in terms of your spine angle in the club shaft towards that 90 and giving yourself some space for the club to actually move. Now if we look at this left hand one, sort of the first few swings of the lesson, club going back nicely now, taking the club away along your toe line there, so good sort of start position here. Top of the backswing, left arm now in a much better position. The problem is, as we discussed, your hands kind of are going up and tracking up in this position, and then when they come back down, they're coming back down very much what we call over the top of that downswing. So as a result of that, now that club's coming down a little bit steep. Now, if your club is coming down that far from your body, the ability now to square the club face up is going to be very difficult, and that can often leave the club obviously staying a bit open, leaking out to the right. So if we look at on the right hand one, and what we then did to start with, obviously, and I recommend obviously doing this in your warm-ups as your practice sessions, set up to a target line, maybe a flag or 100-yard line or whatever it may be, and just get the feeling of a golf ball going left with the club face control, actually feeling as if what you're doing with the club face is actually going to cause the ball to go left. That's going to really get that club working better into impact. But secondly, once you've hit a few shots that way, put two objects, golf balls, tee pegs, in a kind of diagonal angle to where your target line is, to really encourage your club kind of going through the gate more in this angle here. And if we look at this position here, the club comes down. As we discussed, the feeling from the top of the back, so now where you get to that same good backswing, is this right shoulder is going to stay back. The arms are going to kind of fall down more back in front of you rather than you sort of throwing over the top with the shoulder. So if we look here at the movement as you come back down, if we sort of plot where your hands are relative on the backswing, kind of there, compared to where they went back to, not really that far apart compared to where they were on the left hand side. And as soon as we come into the impact position, you can see now your hands much more underneath the shoulders, much more connected. If we look at those two positions here now, the hands are coming in, say, underneath the shoulders and the chin there, tracking the golf ball more into that position. It's a much more efficient way to hit the golf ball. You get just as much power with a lot less effort. I think a few of the shots you hit there where the club was coming in from this direction, hitting the golf ball like so, not much of a hit at all, and the ball was kind of flinging with a 9 on about 120, 130 without you even hitting it at all, just by maximising the efficiency of your swing. So we can get that set up, keep working at that. It's very common people sort of go back into old habits when they're sort of thinking about something else, so just keep mindful of that posture and setup. We're not getting too far from the golf ball, just to make sure we lean over the golf ball, get in a good position, get those angles correct. But in terms of the swing, as I said, the feeling now from the top of the backswing, hitting some shots, and as I said in the warm-ups before you start sort of hitting full swings, hit some shots where your chest or your back now, as you can see, is obviously facing the target. Keep that there as the arms fall. Really get almost over-exaggerated feeling just to get that position back into the golf ball where that club is coming down more like so, coming more in from the inside as opposed to being out here somewhere and coming across the golf ball. So hope that all makes sense. Obviously get some work on the range on that. By all means, if you want to send some videos through or pictures to show me how the posture or the swing's looking, feel free to do so, and we will catch up with a couple of weeks and get on the golf course, see how that swing is performing out on the golf course itself. So any questions, give me a shout and I'll see you soon. Cheers, mate.